Welcome to Geocache Adventures, the podcast where we explore everything geocaching. I'm your host, Shadow Dragon 1. I love geocaching. If you're listening to this, you probably love it too. If you enjoy the podcast, consider sharing it with somebody that you think would love it. You can also follow the podcast on Instagram and Facebook, and there's a Facebook group as well, so you can join in the fun and share your adventures. There's also a Patreon page that you can join and unlock exclusive content. Hi, everybody. Amy here, Shadow Dragon 1. Welcome to Geocache Adventures. With me today is geocacher Jangie. Did I say it right? Jangie?
Yep.
AKA Angela Westfall, the author of the children's book Sophia Finds Geocache. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, you were actually on a previous episode where we did a geocaching mom roundtable with a couple other geocaching moms. How's everything going in motherhood?
It's going well. We started our summer streak, which we tried to do last year. And so the kids and I go out and we try to find at least one geocache every day. And we're up to day 29, which is pretty good for us. So
Hey, not bad. Not
happy to
bad.
be getting out there. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully the heat's not too horrible for you guys right now.
Yeah. How have you been?
Busy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good, good. Just life keeps us hopping, it doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about your book, Sophia Finds a Geocache, which is a really cute children's book. So can you give us sort of a little description of what Sophia Finds a Geocache is about?
The book kind of takes a beginner's look at geocaching through the eyes of our daughter, Sophia. So she goes out with her mom and they go and they find a geocache, but at the same time, trying to teach readers how to geocache.
And it's a cute take on it, for sure. So I'm guessing your daughter was part of the inspiration for this book then?
Mm-hmm. And my mom, she's the illustrator. So we were just talking about something to do, and we're like, there's not very many geocaching books for kids because I went on Amazon and I was Googling and going to the library, and it's like there's not a lot of children's geocaching books at the
Yeah.
time. I know there's more that have come out, but we really wanted to fill that need, I think, at first.
How long had you been geocaching when you guys wrote this?
Ooh, that's a good question. It was a few years. We started in 2012, and this book probably came out maybe 5 or 6 years after that.
Okay, so you've been at it for a bit.
Yeah.
So your mom illustrated it. Was she also a geocacher?
No, she's gone with me a few times, but
Okay.
she isn't as into it as we are.
So she was aware of what it was.
You know, I
Okay.
gave her ideas on what she could draw when we got more to the geocaching stuff, and I gave her pictures, but she had to
Okay.
figure it out. Yeah.
And I was wondering if, when you collaborate with somebody who doesn't know what geocaching is, I imagine that makes it a bit more difficult to do things. And since she had a bit of background, I'm sure that helped her, but sounds like she still may have had to get a bit imaginative on her end to come up with some of those.
Yeah. It was a good project for her. She hadn't drawn in such a long time. And I mean, illustrating a kid's book, you can about imagine it took a long time. Definitely took longer to draw it than to write it.
And there's a lot of detail in these images. I mean, like in
Yeah.
in the areas with grass, she's actually got little blades of grass growing and just not making it all green and everything. She put a lot of detail into it and they look amazing.
Yeah. She took a long time. And then the second hiccup, I don't know if you care or not, but the second hiccup we had was you could go on Amazon and create your own books, right? So
Yeah.
anyone can publish a book on Amazon, but we had a tricky time. Again, I don't know, things have probably changed, but getting the pictures to upload onto Amazon. So I had to take pictures of the pictures
Oh my
because scanning it
gosh.
wasn't working. So then I had to edit it and do all that kind of stuff. So these are actually pictures of pictures.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it took a while to put it together, just the logistics of it, not actually the writing. That probably took the quickest amount of time, believe it or not.
So when you're trying to get this all together and you have her images and then the text is obviously on there with the images. So did you have to upload the images and then add the text, or did you add the text and then upload it all as one, or how did that work out?
Yeah, we had to upload all the pictures, and then I had to type it in again, type in the words on top of the pictures. So that was kind of tricky, how to figure out where to put them, you know. She
Yeah.
had an idea, though, so it wasn't too difficult. She left space.
Yeah, that was very good forward thinking.
Yeah, it was a good project for us.
How long did it take you to come up with everything?
I don't know. I think it was about a year of just going back and forth,
Wow.
just with the pictures and uploading everything.
Yeah,
You know, we didn't sit and do it all day one day, but
right.
yeah, I had a few people read it over, make sure that it made sense, that kind of thing, you know?
That's always a good idea.
Yeah.
One of the things your book mentions that others have left out is Cedo. And I love the fact that you guys mentioned Cedo in it.
Hmm.
Was that something when you were writing the story that you knew you wanted to include, or did it just kind of occur as you were writing?
I really wanted to try to highlight as many features about geocaching as I could in one book. So that I think that's a pretty important aspect of our game compared to other hobbies and, you know, things you can do on your phone.
Yeah, it's definitely, a very different initiative from lot of other things for sure. And then you guys included a guide to how to go and start geocaching, which that's outside of the story, which I think is great because it tells people how they can go get started and find information from.
Yeah. I thought it would be fun instead of like giving out a pamphlet. You know, people get
Yeah.
pamphlets all the time, or people can go Google how to do this. But if you're going to teach your kid, I feel like, you know, it makes it more fun if they understand what's going on when you go geocaching versus if, you know, I go on Google, what's geocaching? How do I geocache? But then they don't know how to. So, you know, how can you teach your kid how to do it before you go? That
Yeah,
was kind of
trying
the
to
thought.
explain it can be a bit tricky, and
Yeah.
having books like this definitely help, you know, turn it into something on their level. And it's fun to learn this way, to pick up a storybook and read like this versus a pamphlet or something more technical.
Yeah.
But you've also included some other fun little hidden things in the book, which
Mhm.
I've actually had a copy of the book for a while. And in the very beginning, you have the tribute to North Dakota U.S. geocachers. And you mention in the tribute that you've hidden North Dakota state symbols in the book for a scavenger hunt within the book,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. But I gotta be
Yeah.
honest with you, the first time I read this, I did not read the Beginner's Guide to Geocaching because we'd been geocaching for a while. But in preparing for this, I read through it, and that's when I realized you hit a trackable code in here.
Yeah. Bonus.
Yeah, so two bonuses. So
Yeah.
what gave you the inspiration for the scavenger hunt and the hidden trackable code?
Well, I think one of the cool things about geocaching is the, you know, hunt for the treasure. So to somehow add that into the book, um, we had to kind of we brainstormed that for a little bit if the symbols would be too difficult or not, you know. But maybe it's something that you could talk to your kid about while you're looking through it. And then the trackable code. I mean, anything you can add a trackable code to, you're right. You
True.
gotta add it if you can. There hasn't been very many people who have found the trackable code, though. I don't know if you looked on that
Really?
page, but it's not something noticed very often. I don't think so.
That's
It's extra
interesting.
special.
It is. Now, when I read what the hidden symbols are for the state, I mean, they seem, and you explain what each of the symbols represent. Northern pike, state fish, milk is a state beverage. I never even thought about states having beverages. I do not remember that coming up in school when we talked about states.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty self-explanatory what they are, but it's also, I mean, it's just fun, the extra scavenger hunt. And then I would have never thought milk in a book would have been a hidden little secret, or any of these things really is. It's
Yeah.
very cool.
Thank you. It was fun.
So the trackable, did you just buy like a random travel bug and then use the code off of that?
Yep. It's just specific to this book. That code is.
So that code doesn't travel with you or anything?
No, can't get lost.
Well, that's good.
Bonus.
So what do your kids think about the book?
They really like it. We forget about it every once in a while, but then they'll pull it back out and want to read it. I think one of the cooler things is Sophia tells people about it every
Oh,
once in a while. It
cool.
comes up, and like this year, she brought it into school and gave a copy to her teacher, and then her teacher read it to the class.
Oh,
I think
wow.
the library at her school has a copy too. I'm pretty sure. So it's
That's got to be pretty
just
cool
something
for her.
special. Yeah, she's really happy. I feel bad I don't have one for the other two kids, but maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Yeah,
Sounds like two more big projects to make that work
yeah.
out.
When we have all the free time.
Oh, yeah. I can only imagine how much free time you have with three of them when I'm struggling with one. So,
When my mom wants to too. I honestly, she did a lot of the work
oh,
for
I
the
mean,
book.
the images are so beautiful. She's very
Yes.
talented. I mean, she put, there's texturing in the images, and they're very impressive. I'm always impressed by people's skills like this, and
Mm-hmm.
she put so much detail in them. I
Thank you.
think
Yes.
my it's kind of hard to pick, but I absolutely love the playground page. I think that might be my favorite illustration
Mm-hmm.
with the colors and everything going on there, but they're all so beautiful.
Yeah. It's actually based on a park in our town too.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
wow.
I don't know if it says that anywhere, but that's what we had in mind. There's Spring Lake Park in town, but I don't think it actually says it anywhere. Oh, I think maybe on the cache page. Spring Lake Park Geocache, yeah. So kind of based on that park. It was kind of extra fun to have that as inspiration.
So, was that an actual geocache in that park that you based it off of?
Yeah, I had a geocache there called the Spring Lake Park Geocache, or Ammo Can, I think. But I archived it just a little bit ago. But it wasn't doing well. It was getting old and it just, but yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you have to,
Yeah.
but that's neat that you based it off of things that you guys have actually experienced while geocaching. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing or favorite part of the book? Was it the experience creating it, or, sharing it with your children, or I imagine it's hard to
Um,
pick.
Gosh, it's tricky. Yeah. I feel like creating it was really fun. Seeing it come together, that was really I feel like the first word that pops to mind was that it was a relief to be done because it's kind of got frustrating towards the end.
I can
But I think
imagine.
just hearing about people that have used it as a way to like teach their kids how to geocache, that makes me happy because that's why we wrote it as a fun way to learn about geocaching. it also makes me feel happy when the kids want to read it.
It's gonna
I
make you
feel
feel pretty good. Yeah.
it's always kind of embarrassing though too. It's like when you do your school project at home and then you have to go to class and present it to the class, you know? It's kind of like, I mean, the intent was to share it, but I don't know. Sometimes I just get like shy about, like, people are like, oh, I read your book, and it's like, oh, cool. You know, but it's neat.
Yeah. I can see how that could be like, you know, cool but awkward at the same time. Yeah, putting it
Yeah,
out there.
it's a different experience.
For sure, I can imagine. But it really is such a cute book.
Yeah, I actually brought a couple. I don't know if you can see them or I can just talk about them, but I have some other children's books that we've gotten over the years.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, The Life of a Geocache. It's
Mm,
kind of a cute one you can get on Amazon.
I have not heard of that one.
And then We're Gonna Find a Geocache. That one's on Amazon. Some geocachers wrote that one too.
Yes, I
Have you
have
seen
that
that one?
one. Yeah.
Yeah, we like that one too.
That's a cute one.
Like,
Yeah.
good little kid book. But yeah.
Yeah, the author, I've had the author of that one on here on the
Oh,
podcast before
really?
too. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
I think it's so neat, that these are written by geocachers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a way to spread the word and share the love of geocaching with somebody. And there's so much love put into creating these.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should be shared with
Yeah,
everybody. They're very cool.
I agree. It's a cool extra bit. When you can't go outside, you can read about it at least, right?
Yes, that's why I like
Mhm.
these things that we find that are maybe not exactly geocaching, but related to it in ways that you can share it with others, or it's too cold, too hot, too wet, or whatever. You can still find ways to experience geocaching with your family.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So you mentioned you published it through Amazon. So we can
Mm-hmm.
buy it through Amazon. Is it available anyplace else?
Nope, that's it. It was up at our visitor center for a little bit. They had
Oh,
it
was it?
stocked up, so that was pretty cool.
That is
But
cool.
just on Amazon.
Okay.
I have a few copies. If you know me, I can mail it to you.
Well, and I'll put a link to its page on Amazon in the show notes if anybody wants to go and check it out, because it really is a cute story.
Thank you.
Is there anything else about the book or, the writing creative experience or anything that you'd like to share with us?
I think if you want to write a book or you have an idea, you should do it. Because especially with geocaching, because there's just, I know they've probably added on a lot since I've last looked up different titles and things, but I think we could use more geocaching books.
I agree with that. And what about the self-publishing experience? Do you recommend that to others?
I think in such a small niche, however you want to say that, I think geocache people find our book pretty often. It's not a very common hobby. So you can look it up, and I don't know how many titles there are on Amazon, but there's not a lot of geocaching books.
Yeah.
And self-publishing isn't too difficult either. But if some big publisher wants to come along and support you, that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you have a cache highlight for us, and it is
Mm-hmm.
GC9DTCH. And this is called, and I may pronounce this wrong, Williston's Heavy
Yep.
Duty Trackable Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell us about this. This is one that you have found.
Yep. So Jaspery, she's one of the local geocachers here. She really tries, and she does put out really good quality caches. And this one is huge. First off, it's a large. Is that a large geocache.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of larges. And then last time I visited, it was decorated like a heavy lifter, like all the diggers and all the equipment,
Okay.
And then it's just organized really well for trackables and swag and all of that. But I know in the last year, maybe she updated it. She took it home and she fixed it up. So we'll have to go
Oh.
back out there sometime. We and see what they have, but she did a really good job. The trackable hotels are always kind of fun too when they're
They
done really
are.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see on the catch page here it's been awarded a 5 bug award from the Travel Bug Hotels of America as well, which is pretty cool.
Mhm. I think it has the most favorite points in our town too. 22 is a lot for my area.
Yeah, it actually only has 69 finds on it, so that's quite a high ratio of favorites to finds.
Mhm. Yeah, it's really good quality. If anyone's ever around, she does a really good job. I mean, not just the cache, but the cashier.
Yeah. Yeah, but seeing those, I know some people absolutely love the numbers and all to them that want to do that. But these higher quality geocaches, I absolutely love those because that's what, I don't mind finding an LPC, but finding those really cool ones, that's what gets my son excited to go out and find some with me. Because he could care less about looking under a lamppost skirt in a parking lot.
Mhm. Something more memorable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for joining me today. It has been really great to talk to you again, and I really appreciate you taking the time to tell us about your book.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on. I love listening.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Geocache Adventures with me, Shadow Dragon 1. If you'd like to get in touch, you can reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, or go to geocacheadventures.org and you can find the information on the contact page. Theme music is by The Travel Bugs. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Have you heard of FTF Magazine? It's the magazine for geocachers. It is full of articles and pictures, all submitted by geocachers just like you. I'm a subscriber myself, and I love it. My favorite part is the little snippets on the edges of the articles on all the different pages. Those are my favorites. Just go to ftfgeo.com to check them out and tell them Shadow Dragon 1 sent you.